Fam, and welcome to another episode of the Alex Sports Show here on Wednesday, December 27th. Going forward, all my episodes of the Alex Sports Show will have the date that they are being posted on next to the title. Today's show is kind of stacked. We got NFL upset picks, NFL game picks, and my college basketball top 25. I apologize for not having anything for you on Tuesday. I'm planning some big things for 2024, and I was talking to one of the people I'm trying to get on the show in 2024. But let's get into tonight's show. Here are my locks of the week for the NFL. The number one lock of the week is the Eagles minus 10.5 to cover over the Cardinals. Now, how am I going to say this? The Eagles, they're good. I think the Cardinals might have an outside chance of maybe covering. Highly doubtful, though. I think that the Eagles cover the 10.5 here and win. And you'll see in a little bit who I have winning this game. My second lock of the week for the NFL is the Buccaneers minus 3 over the Saints. And this is a critical game for the Buccaneers. If they win this week and next week, they are division champs in the NFC South for yet another season. And I like them minus 3 over the Saints this week. And you may see the Buccaneers not only in game picks, but I have a special segment at the end of game picks for everyone. So stick around and see what that special segment is. And the last lock of the week I have is the 49ers minus 13.5. Now, this opened at, I believe, 14. It opened at 12.5. And it's now gone up to 13.5. No, correction. It didn't move at all. It stayed at 13.5. And I like the 49ers to cover here. I have seen people in the betting world that are saying take the Commanders to cover, but I don't trust. There's two things I don't trust with Washington. I don't trust Jacoby Brissett, and I don't trust the Commanders' offensive line. So that is why I would take 49ers minus 13.5. Now, here are my upset picks for the NFL this week. My first upset pick is, and I should have picked them last week to upset the Chiefs. I might have just gave it away who it is. It is the Las Vegas Raiders. I should have picked them last week against Kansas City. I didn't. I picked Kansas City, and we laid an egg there. That's on me. I wish I would have seen that upset coming, but I didn't. But here's to getting this week's upsets correct. And like I said, the first one is the Raiders plus 3 to upset Indianapolis. Now, I don't know what the chances are of the Raiders making the playoffs, even if they win their last 2 games. But they can finish the season on a high note with 3 straight wins. If they win this week and next week, which I don't know who they play yet next week. I think it's a division game, but I like them this week to upset Indianapolis. My second upset for the NFL this week is the Bengals plus 7 to upset the Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Sports Show family, let's face it. The Chiefs, they're, I'm not going to say choking, but they're falling apart right before our very eyes. And I picked them to win this division in the preseason. I still think they win their division, but it's not going to be with 13 wins. Obviously, the most they could probably get is 11. But I don't think they can get that 10th win this week. I think Cincinnati upsets them because Cincinnati is angry because they lost to a team that is also on here last week, 34-11. Nice little hint at who it is. And that said team that I have to pull an upset that beat the Bengals last week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you could call me crazy, but I think Seattle gets upset by Pittsburgh plus 3.5. I like the Steelers here because I liked what I saw from Mason Rudolph last week. Not saying Kenny Pickett, of course, is still your franchise quarterback next year, but I like how the offense was producing with Mason Money Rudolph leading the offense instead of Mitch Trubisky. So I like the Steelers here to pull the upset. Now we get on to the game picks. So here's the Sunday game picks and parlay bets. And like I said, the parlay, you'll see what it is at the end. It's one bet, but it's 3 different teams. So, but here we go. Picks. The first game I have the choice for is the Dolphins and the Ravens. Now, I had the Dolphins losing last week. And again, it was looking promising until the end of the game when the Dolphins kicked a game-winning field goal, which probably hurt a lot of people, but it hurt me because I had the Cowboys, and I wanted the Dolphins to lose. I think the Dolphins will lose this week. The Ravens are one of the better teams in the AFC, and I want y'all to put your comments in the comment section down below of what you think the final score of these games will be. And let's see if y'all agree. I think the Ravens win this game. I don't think there's going to be that much defense. I think the Ravens win it 35-28. Lamar throws for 3 touchdowns and has a rushing touchdown. And he goes over 200 yards passing and 65 yards rushing. The next game I will be picking is the Patriots and the Bills. And Patriots fans, I'm sorry, but I think your luck runs out here. I don't think you beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo beats you, and Buffalo just they end up suffocating you. Buffalo will beat the Patriots. Bills will beat the Patriots, and I'm going to go and say 42-7. I think the Patriots only get 7 points the entire game. And y'all can either agree with me on that statement or disagree. The next game is the Bears and Falcons. Now, I had a really hard time picking the winner of this game because as much as I want the Bears to not win, I don't want the Falcons to win either because they're in the same division as the Buccaneers and they're battling the Buccaneers and the Saints for first place. So I ended up going with the Bears because if they went out, I don't know if that many people realize, and I want y'all to sound up in the comment section and let me know what you think. I don't know if that many people realize that if the Bears went out, I don't think Matt Eberflus is going to be the one that gets fired, and I don't think Justin Fields gets traded. I think the guy that gets canned in Chicago, if the Bears win their last two games, is Luke Getsy. Because just like Todd Bowles, and I know this is comparing two different coaches, but hear me out. Luke Getsy is the, how do I say this? Less mediocre version of Todd Bowles, where all Luke Getsy likes to do is throw screen passes and not go for the big play downfield unless he really needs to. And that's kind of what Todd Bowles does with the Buccaneers. Which, in the offseason, you will see another round of where I go over coaches and where I think they should be hired. But, and I think the Bears win this game, and I think they win it. They're going to do all they can to lose, but they end up winning 36-28 with Taylor Heineke, with the Bears defense forcing 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions from Heineke, and a fumble. And Justin Fields throws for roughly around 230 yards, 240, with 3 touchdowns, 1 to DJ Moore, 1 to Cole Kmet, and 1 to either Khalil Herbert or Roschon Johnson. And the Bears end up winning. Taylor Heineke does have a good game. He goes for 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air, with and he throws for 240 yards and 3 combined touchdowns. 1 to Drake London and 1 to Kyle Pitts, and then a rushing touchdown, which he vultures that rushing touchdown, and people in fantasy are not going to be happy about this. He takes that rushing touchdown away from Bijan Robinson. Titans, Texans. This one was an easy pick for me to make. I'm pretty sure Will Levis is not going to play, and you all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Texans will be getting back CJ Stroud. And I venture to bet that Stroud is not happy that he missed the last 2 games with a concussion. So therefore, he is going to go off and throw for 3 touchdowns and run for another. And 2 of the 3 touchdowns, 1 of the 3 touchdowns is going to go, 2 touchdowns is going to go to Noah Brown, and the other one's going to go to Dalton Schultz. And he's, like I said, he's also going to rush for a touchdown. Devin Singletary will go for, I'm going to say, 85 scrimmage yards. So that's 85 rushing yards, and I'll have maybe 40 or 50 receiving yards. So that's a nice day in fantasy and a nice day overall. And the Texans win this game rather easily, 35-14. Raiders and Colts is the next game. I have the Raiders winning this game. We have everybody throughout the years since Anthony Richardson has gone down has seen the Gardner Minshew experience. And the Gardner Minshew experience is like your old, let me use an old phrase that I used to use before I got into YouTube. It's like seeing Jameis Winston on the Buccaneers and his first pass of the year being a pick six and his last pass of the year being a pick six. That's kind of what you get with Gardner Minshew. Minus always throwing interceptions no matter what because you can't see. And then you get cataract surgery in the offseason and you think it helps, but it doesn't. Anyway, I like how the Raiders, and I want to know what's y'all opinion on the Raiders in the comments down below after the video. I like how the Raiders have been playing since Antonio Pierce has been the interim head coach. And I think the Raiders, I don't think they should give Harbaugh the bag in the offseason. I think they have their coach on staff right now, and he's the interim, Antonio Pierce. I think Antonio Pierce should be the head coach. And here's who I have winning this game. I have the Raiders winning it 35-28. Saints and Buccaneers is the next one. I have the Buccaneers winning this game, and I'm going to keep this short. I think the Buccaneers win this game 35-14. Baker Mayfield throws for 3 touchdowns, 2 to Mike Evans and 1 to Chris Godwin. Eagles and Cardinals. I have the Eagles winning. I think the Eagles, like I said earlier, I think they cover the spread here and win rather easily. Panthers and Jaguars. Now, as much as I would like to see the Jags win this game, I think they do. And I don't think it's rather close. No matter who the QB is for the Jags, whether it's CJ Beathard or whether it's Trevor Lawrence, which right now it's trending towards CJ Beathard being the starter on Sunday, which again scares me. But then again, I still like the Jags because the Panthers look anemic on offense. I think the Jaguars end up winning this game 35-7. 49ers Commanders. Now, I'm going to say this, and again, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I think the 49ers win this game big. I think it's a blowout. Rams and Giants. This game is going to get... I sneakily think this might be a good game, but at the same time, I can see the Rams just boat racing the Giants right out of their stadium, and the Rams winning big. Now let's get to the late window games in the NFL this week. The first one is the Steelers and Seahawks. Now, I had mentioned and give you a teaser earlier at who my pick was going to be in this game. It is going to be the Steelers. Now, let's bring the volume down a little bit. I have the Steelers winning because I think the Seahawks are trying to determine if, I know Geno Smith started last week, but is he going to be the guy moving forward? Because Drew Lock did start 2 games. But I like the Steelers to win this game. It's going to be I think it's a low-scoring defensive battle. Steelers 21, Seahawks 14. The Chiefs and Bengals is my next pick. And I'm going to say this. I think the Bengals win this game 35-28. Jake Browning has a big bounce back game, goes for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 to T. Higgins and 1 to Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon goes for 85 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. And they win. And the Broncos and Chargers is the last late window game this week. I like the Broncos in this game, even though Russell Wilson isn't starting. I think the Broncos win this game 34-28. Sunday Night Football. Okay, so Packers-Vikings is Sunday Night Football, and I would have picked the Vikings if TJ Hawkinson was healthy and didn't tear his ACL and MCL. Speedy recovery to TJ Hawkinson. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, man. It stinks tearing your ACL. I had friends that happened to, but with that being said, I am taking the Packers here, 35-21. And here's my parlay bet for Sunday NFL Week 17. It's a 3-leg parlay. It's the Buccaneers -3, the 49ers -13.5, and the Bengals +275 to win against the Chiefs. Again, that is a 3-leg parlay bet. Buccaneers -3.5, 49ers -13.5, and the Bengals +275 to win against the Chiefs. And I put $15 down on it. The lowest I would go was probably 10. The highest I would go is anywhere between $15 to $20. If you're feeling gutsy, I would say 25 at the max. Don't go any higher than $25 if you're going to do this parlay bet. And now, here are my latest college basketball rankings. And again, these are done based on how the teams play. At number 25, Providence. Now, Providence has been playing really well this year. I love how Providence has been playing in the Big East. And I've been shocked at how good they've been this year. Number 24, Memphis. Now, they just missed out last week, but I was keeping my watchful eye on them, and they impressed me. Their 2 games last week, they went, I think, 1-1 or 2-1, or 2-0, I mean. And I like how they've played. Number 23, George Mason. You're going to see another George school in here at number 21. George Mason, A-10 school. They've been playing really well. They only have 2 losses so far in the season. And I love the way they play. Their guards are not ball hogs. They pass the ball a lot. Number 22, South Florida. Again, I'm going to reiterate. These are done based on how the teams play. South Florida had a good week last week. They played really well in their 2 games. I like what they're 6-4 on the season, but again, I'm going to say this for the 3rd time since I started the rankings. I do it based on how the teams play. Throwing record out the window. If you play really good, you're going to end up on my rankings. If you play really bad, you're probably not going to end up on the rankings. But South Florida has been playing really good, and Chris Youngblood was named the AAC Player of the Week. I mentioned it a minute ago. Number 21, George Washington University. GWU. George Washington is another team in the A-10 that has been playing extremely good. And I have been really shocked at how good they've played. Number 20, Dayton. Dayton's another team that's played really good. And as you're going to see, some of these teams are not new. They've moved up in my rankings, but I will still give you a little 30-second to minute spiel / talk about the teams like I just did about Dayton. Number 19, Northwestern. Northwestern didn't move up or down. They stayed right where they were. They had a good week. Some of these teams will not get moved up or down because there was teams in front of them that had a better week. I will tell you, Jacksonville University was at number 21. They're not there anymore, obviously. That is George Washington. But back to Northwestern. I have been really enthusiastically surprised by how good they have been this year. Duke at number 18. Do they really need... John Shire's got his boys playing really good. Liberty's another team that's really good in basketball. And I'm not going to deny it. They are really, really good at basketball. Number 16, James Madison. They are another team that's been shockingly really good in basketball this year. And as you see, Gonzaga keeps slipping down the rankings because I'm not really impressed. And until we get into conference play, which starts next month, I need to see more out of Gonzaga in order to move them back up, slide them back up in my rankings. Number 14, Illinois. Terrence Shannon is the real deal. The kid is a hooper. He's a bucket getter, as the kids in the park say. He's a hooper. I am scared as an Ohio State fan of Terrence Shannon when we play Illinois. Number 13, Indiana. Really good basketball school, and that's what they've been the last couple of years. Kentucky's at number 12. Now, you may say, why is Kentucky behind you? Behind a few teams that you'll see in a minute. Because Kentucky, they're young. And I do like young basketball teams, but they need to show a lot more improvement. Number 11, UConn. Yes, I know what you're going to say. They were just in the top 10 last week when you did this. Why did they move down so far? Not impressed with the way they're playing right now. Number 10, FAU. Now, I had a thought of putting FIU in the rankings because they upset FAU the week before last week. But I did not put them in the rankings this week. FAU is at 10, and I think they can move up into the top 5. Number 9, Wisconsin. Greg Gard has his boys at Wisconsin playing really, really good. Number 8, North Carolina. I like the guards at North Carolina. I think North Carolina can go far in the tournament. Number 7, Baylor. Baylor's another team that is really good in basketball. And I think Baylor can be really good, and they can stay up in the upper echelon of my rankings. Number 6, Ohio State. I love how Ohio State has been playing over the last 2 weeks. Their guards, Jamison Battle, Roddy Gale, Zed Key, have all been playing really well. Number 5, Texas. I like Texas a lot. Arizona, number 4. Arizona's another team that I really like. And they'll be somewhere between 1 and 4 throughout the year, because number 1 will always change every week if the number one team in the country loses. Kansas is another team that is really, 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 really good. I love Kansas. Number 2, Houston. They don't need no introduction. Jabal Shed. Is it Jamal or Jabal? Houston fans in the comment section down below, please let me know how you say his name. I think I'm saying it right. Is it Jabal Shed? Or is it Jabari? Or is it Jamal? But he is one of the best players in the Big 12. And at number 1, Purdue. They stay at number 1 for another week. Zach Edey is him. Zach Edey will be a good NBA player, in my opinion. I really like Zach Edey a lot. And Alex Sports Show fam, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, don't forget to turn on notifications, as you don't want to miss an upload. As I said, big things are coming in 2024 on this channel and my second channel, which I have a community pull-up on, the Alex Sports Reaction YouTube channel, where I will be posting more on that channel too, which the first video on that channel for 2024 will be out next week, where I will be reacting to somebody else's mock draft in the NFL community. And you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss the content that's going to be on this channel. And also, if you haven't already, also go over and follow my Twitch, because I will be doing a lot more on Twitch next year too. So, but for the Alex Sports Show tonight on Thursday, December 27th, that will do it for me. I will see my loyal Alex Sports Show fam tomorrow it might be earlier than 12. We might be going live at like 11 or 10:30 for the mock draft. And just a heads up, you will also get a mock draft on Friday. But Friday's mock draft will be with trades. But if you want, leave a comment down below you can ask me anything. Advice on like a parlay bet you want to place, or fantasy football, anything at all, Alex Sports Show fam, I will answer it. And if you want to contact me outside of the show, there's one main way to do it, and it's through my Instagram, which is Alec Thomas Pecado 24. And we can chat outside of the show there, and you can get to know me on a personal level outside of YouTube. But that'll do it for tonight's show, Alex Sports Show fam. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a amazing rest of your night. Good night.